Well, the album is a collection of love letters that I wrote to my wife. Uh, to make an album, I probably write at least 100 songs. For this one, it was particularly hard. It was about 120, 130 songs. And that's because we have felt some tremendous changes on the planet, especially in the United States over the last 3 years. And I struggled with what I was going to create. So I had to write a lot of different songs about a lot of different emotions. And in the end, what I felt was the most timeless and classic was the love that I share with my wife. And that's really what's been going on in my life. At least I got married 3 years ago, so that's been on the forefront. So that's not always talked about when I'm creating. So that might be a secret nobody knows. They're all little love letters to my lady. Great. When you leave home, it's a tremendous feeling. It's an honor. To travel is a real luxury and a privilege. Many people don't get to leave their hometown. So anytime I get to leave home, I feel great. And it's been probably 7 years since I've been here. So there's always a feeling when you leave that you may not come back because you don't know the trajectory of your career, you don't know the success, you don't know what your health is going to be. So I'm very, very grateful to be back. And this humidity and this moisture in the air is a treat for a singer because it's so good for your voice. Yeah, so good. So is love. Love is good for the voice too, and I get that there's a lot of love here, so I'm happy about that. For me, I feel like being a human is very weird. It's a miracle, but I also have a lot of questions. How did we get here? What is our purpose? And I'm always in search of that. And my relationship with my guitar, relationship with my voice, my singing, that to me is a very creative act, and it's an act of love. It gives me purpose, and it gives me peace. So whenever I pick up an instrument, I'm feeling love. I'm just feeling it, because I'm being held by music. And so when it comes time to emote lyrics, I can only sing about love because that's how music makes me feel. So no matter what, I'm always looking for the good because music is so good. It's a language that all humanity understands. And so if you're going to speak a language that all humanity understands, what are you going to say? And I would rather sing about love and acceptance and inclusion and equality and hope and optimism, forgiveness, all of those things. Yeah. I don't have anyone on an immediate list. And yet, at the same time, I'd be honored to work with a number of artists. I still look up to many artists, like veteran artists like Willie Nelson, James Taylor, Neil Young, Dave Matthews. Veterans. If they were to call and say, "Hey, would you come sing on this song?" I would definitely do it. But I don't have anyone that I'm pursuing currently. Probably everything's going to be okay. I would tell myself that because there's been so many times on the path that I've worried and spent so much time just wasting time in fear. So many different versions of fear. Fear about standing on certain stages that I didn't feel worthy of being on, or fear that I would never create again. But knowing what my manager once told me is that, if you're lucky if you get 10 years, that inspired me to just keep my feet on the ground and enjoy the ride and stay true to myself, stay authentic, stay humble. And if it takes me 4 or 5 years to make an album, great. I think that's all I tell myself. Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that's something that
is it in the process right now?
It's in the process right now, yeah. Like I write all kinds of songs, and the songs, maybe 10% of what I've written has ever made it on to albums. And so I've got a wealth of material that I'm always combing through to figure out when and how is going to be the best place to share this. And more recently, I've just been enthralled with reggae music and world beats. And I'm hoping that that can become a new collection of songs in the future. I've tried, but it doesn't sound like me.
Maybe some rapping and stuff like that.
I mean, I occasionally rap. I mean, I think even inside I Won't Give Up, the rap, there's a rap. The bridge of I Won't Give Up is rapping. And I would have only written that bridge. I only wrote that bridge because in my past and in my present, I like to hang with my friends and we like to improvise and freestyle rap. So that's one of the many, I don't know, tools in my tool belt. So when I write a song, I can have that. But if I go just straight rap, then I start to miss melody. You know, I start to miss other things. So I've always strived to write things that sound familiar and that have a purpose, but also still try to make them very personal and uniquely my own. I think that goes for any artist. I think they should always try to create their own specific, unique, original brand of music. And if it can be familiar and be used in people's weddings, all the better. I have not thought of that. Nama saya Jason Mraz.
Wow.
I don't, you know, I know my basics, you know, apa kabar, terima kasih. You know,
Sounds great though. Perfect.
I am very fortunate that music breaks down geographical borders, political borders. You know, when I look out into a room when we're singing songs, it's humans. So I don't always grab every phrase off of the buffet of languages that's available. But I am very, very grateful to be here and be back this third time. And hopefully I'll pick up some cool phrases. Longer ones, I know.
We'll be around to teach
I'll
you all
work
the
on
phrases,
that.
Jason.
I'll work
Don't worry
on
about
that.
that.
I'll try to drop a nice long phrase for you tonight. Very welcoming, very active. I know I see a lot of comments for years on the social medias. Please come back to Malaysia. Please come back to Malaysia. So there's a certain level of engagement here that might be higher than other territories. So I just see that as love and invitation.